Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but besides one match and an ending result in the main event, besides those things, honestly, I thought this was a very surprisingly good pay-per-view. Wow, a pay-per-view that's actually good from WWE? What a concept! I'm I'm kind of speechless still. Even when Brandon came over, he was quite surprised how good it was. I mean, you really look at the card, and we both thought this was going to be mediocre or crap, and it ended up being good. A lot of people are actually saying it's pretty good. Surprisingly, this was surprisingly better than we thought. Excuse me. So why don't we go ahead and run down the card very quick? So we open it with The Undertaker, Roman Reigns defeat Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre, no holds barred tag match. I would say Taker looked really well for this match. I was quite surprised how well he held himself. He really held his side a lot. I was quite surprised. He held his own. And the match itself, I thought was very good. I don't think it didn't need to be as long. I don't think it needed to be any longer than how it was meant to be. I thought it did exactly what it did. Taker Roman won. They beat Shane McIntyre. It was a fun opener. The crowd was into it. It got a good amount of time. I really got nothing else to really say. I thought it was a strong opener. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen, but for a Taker match, it's been one. I would say it's probably one of the better Taker matches we've had in a long time, and that's saying a lot, especially knowing his condition, how old he is. Way better than we ever thought. Nixon and Drew the Revival defeating Usos for Raw Tag Team Championships. This was actually a very solid match. If this was on a Raw, I think this would have been a really good Raw match. The problem was I just didn't care a whole lot because of the whole how they built this up, where it was manscaping, it was garbage. But Revival Usos are the best tag teams right now on the main roster. They're some of the best tag teams we have. And given the chance, these four guys can really kick ass. I would love to see a Revival Usos feud like they did with the New Day. I would love to see it, but the problem is they're doing too much comedy or comedy and bearing stuff. It makes these guys look like jokes. But for what it was, I thought it was a solid tag team match. I didn't really have any complaints. I kind of wish, again, mainly it's just the build up. The build up for this is the reason why I didn't want to see these guys. But these guys prove they can go out there and have a great tag match. So I thought for what it was a solid match. Next match, Aleister Black defeated Cesaro 1-on-1. I'm going to say this. This was too short. That was my biggest problem with this match. It was cut too short. This match, if you were giving these guys at least an extra 5, maybe 6 minutes, they could have easily torn the house down and probably been match that night. They easily could have. This match was great. I thought for what they did, I thought it was really good. Again, my only downside is the time. It was just really short. I wish it was longer. I would like to see rematch one day. Just when you're doing the actual brand split, make sure Cesaro and Aleister Black are on the same brand, please, so we don't get confusion. Next match, we had a handicap match for SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley defeating Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Now, the reason why they did a handicap match to begin with, I'll admit this, I didn't like this either. But apparently the reason it did was Bliss apparently has some sort of affection or sinus affection, I think it was, or sinus condition going on. She was sick, a sinus illness. And we didn't know how much Bliss could wrestle. Well, she was very active in this match. And for a handicap match, honestly, it wasn't that bad. When I see handicap matches, like especially women's matches like this, it's very like, oh, it's dull, it's lame. I'd be lying if I said I didn't watch and say, it wasn't that bad. I honestly don't think it was that bad of a match. If this was a TV match, I thought it would have been a strong TV match. I just hope now they kind of have Bailey fight somebody else that's actually on her own brand. I really hope so. And have Bailey fight Ember Moon. I don't even care if it's Bailey and freaking Mandy Rose, as long as it's somebody on SmackDown. Honestly, I would do Bailey and Liv Morgan feud. Liv Morgan's on SmackDown now. She's doing her own thing. Why not build to a Liv Morgan Bailey feud? Something different. Just a suggestion. Out of a handicap match, I honestly thought this was just a basic handicap match, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was actually passable. So I was quite surprised. Next, our Braun Strowman defeated Bobby Lashley last man standing match. I thought this was a really good match. Everyone's going to be behind me when I say this. If you told me these two were having a match after excluding the whole stage destruction part, if you told me these two were having a match, I would be like, nope, turn off my TV. All it took was that one segment from Heyman to go through that Timetron, doing that spark thing. It took that one segment to make me go, I want to see these guys. And they went out there and they had a really good match, a really good last minute stand match. They fought everywhere in the arena. They fought in the crowd. They fought towards the concession stands. They fought everywhere. Endings where they went on top in the crowd and Strowman did super power slam off the balcony through like a box of some kind. And Strowman ended up winning that way. So cool ending. It was a very physical match. It was a good match. I was entertained. I never was bored. I thought for what it was a really good match. I got really nothing else to say. Next match, Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending the tag team championships against Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery, and the New Day, Xavier Woods and Big E. Again, another really good match. I honestly think Heavy Machinery really shined in this match a lot. I think a lot of fans started to get behind Heavy Machinery in this match, especially. But the New Day are the new tag team champions. I'm not really a fan of the New Day. I'm kind of sick of their shtick. I really am. But I can't take away anything that this was a really good match. Again, another great triple threat. They actually went by the old triple threat rules. One person, two people start the match. Thank God. I hate that clusterfuck they always do where it's like triple threat. All three guys can be in it. I hate that. It's always been one-on-one, tag anybody in. It's always what it has been. And because of that, it ended up being a really good match. And New Day wins. So, I mean, I have my issues with New Day, but it was a good match. I can't take anything away from it. So I just thought it was a really good match. I got really nothing else to say. Next, AJ Styles versus Ricochet for the United States Championship. I thought this was a great match. I thought these two showed what these two can really do. The agility, the countering, the near falls. I thought for what these guys can do, they did a great job. I would love to see another rematch. Hopefully at SummerSlam, maybe a ladder match. Can you imagine that? That'd be awesome. The club got involved, ending where AJ Styles decided to do a Super Styles clash for a second rope, but this time instead of going like facing the mat and playing, he had like reversal. His back was facing the mat, and then he launched himself, then playing Ricochet, which I thought was a cool ending. AJ Styles is now a 3-time United States champion. I guarantee you they're going to continue this feud. They're going to do AJ Styles and Ricochet at SummerSlam. And I think why not do a ladder match? Why not? If they do a ladder match, those guys, they will steal the show in my book. I think that'll be an awesome match to do. But for what it was, I thought it was a great match. And I'd like to see these guys have a rematch somewhere down the line. Next, Owen Ziggler. One-on-one. Next match, moving on. Like, in my opinion, that was the worst match on the card because it was the shortest match on the night. Not according to Lesnar thing. We'll get into that. But Owen Ziggler was the worst match. This match did not need to be on here. It was more of a segment. Let's be honest. It was just a segment. That's all it was. It was just a segment. This didn't need to happen. You could get in the last couple minutes to more time to the next match or a Cesaro match. You could have done that. But instead, they went with this route. Match, 17 seconds, 1 star. That's it. That's all it was. Next, Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe for WWE Championship. This had the same problem with Black and Cesaro. It was really good, but the problem was it was way too short. For the WWE Championship, it was way too short. You could give him this guy at least another 4 or 5 minutes at least 6 extra minutes. But instead, they only give him like 10. I don't understand it. Like this should have been longer. But it was good for what it was. I'm not gonna complain. Match wasn't bad, but the time, like I know these guys can have a great match, but when you only give them so much time, it's kind of hard to really judge it for being a great match. It was good. I don't think it was great because of the time. It was really short on time. That's just my personal opinion right there. Again, good match. Kingston retains. Nothing really else to say. Next match, the main event. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch defeating Corbin and Lacey Evans. I think a lot of people notice this too. Lacey Evans comes out and the camera zooms in like on her butt, like during her entrance. My immediate thought was, WWE doesn't usually do that for PG. Clearly, I don't know about you guys. I just immediately thought that way. That's not something WWE normally does. That's different. So I immediately knew that part. So something was up with that. Let's talk about the match itself. Honestly, for a main event, it was entertaining. I was never bored by it. I would say it was by far the best Corbin and Rollins match they've done ever. I'd say it's the best Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans match they've done with each other. It was entertaining. They did some cool spots. Ending, we have Baron Corbin hit end of days on Becky Lynch. Rollins then snaps, beats Corbin down. It's 3 curb stomps. 1, 2, 3. Show's over. We think the show's over. Then we get Lesnar's music. Money in the Bank beats Rollins for Universal title. Look, at this point, everyone's going to be expecting me to online and throw a hissy fit. At this point, I'm laughing. They don't trust their roster. Let's be real. WWE does not trust their roster. This is proof of it. If you're telling me they trust their roster, bullshit. They've given the Universal title back to Lesnar. If they really trust their roster that much, Lesnar would not have never been Mr. Money in the Bank to begin with. If they trusted their roster, Lesnar would never been a world champion coming back a long time ago. They clearly do not trust their roster. Because why else would they give Rollins the title belt just from the drop it back to Lesnar just literally a couple months after winning it back at Mania? You could have given the Money in the Bank briefcase to Andrade Cien Almas. You could give it to Mustafa Ali. You could give it to Sami Zayn if he was actually in the match. You could give it to Ricochet. You could give it to. I'm trying to think who else was in that match. Drew McIntyre. You could have added Cesaro to that match and give it to him, but no, you gave it to Lesnar. And now Lesnar's Universal Champion once again. So congratulations. Lesnar is going to be coming back, going to be holding that championship for another like year or two, and only going to show up like to WrestleMania like once or twice a year, maybe 4 times out of the year. So once again, Raw is going to have no championship, no world championship on their show. I could get angry and go on big rants like I normally have, but it's like, what's the point? This is exactly why people want to watch AEW. This is stuff like this. This is why people want AEW to be a success. Is this? I just don't understand. Some people say it's a ratings thing. Sorry, Lesnar doesn't help with ratings that much. I'm sorry to say. Like, what's he gonna get? Like a few extra thousand people watching because Lesnar's on or Taker? Unless Lesnar's actually going to be wrestling on Monday Night Raw, like actually wrestling on free TV, he doesn't do anything for me. All you need to do is make stars. And I'm hoping to God that whenever Bray Wyatt comes back as this new character and you build him up to superstar levels and you just have him go winning after winning after winning and you completely start all over with him. And with Bray Wyatt, you can easily make him to the face of the company with ease. You just need to book him right. And honestly, I would do tomorrow Night Raw, have a six-pack challenge elimination match. And I would have Bray Wyatt be the last man to enter, so like a surprise six-person in the match. And I would literally have Bray Wyatt eliminate every single person in the match. Eliminate every single man by himself. 5 eliminations from Bray Wyatt. He goes on to fight Lesnar and then beats Lesnar at SummerSlam, becomes the Universal Champion. You do that, the guy's a star. You've already made him to a star. By having him beat 5 top guys on Raw in the main event, and then having beat Lesnar at SummerSlam, you've established him as a star. I would book that immediately. That's how I would book it. But we know it's going to happen. Lesnar's going to hold on to the title for another year or two. He's never going to defend it on Raw. He's never even going to fight on Raw. He'll only show up for a handful of pay-per-views. He'll bounce around. He's got potatoes in his crack, and Heyman will cut a promo. That's about it. I really hope with Heyman in charge of Raw, I really hope we could do better with Lesnar. I hope Lesnar actually show up more often. I hope Lesnar actually puts in more competitive matches with actual talent we want to see and not just squash matches. I really hope so. Because the Lesnar thing at this point is just laughable. I can't even get angry anymore because it's what I expect. I expect like Lesnar to be a 16-time world champion by that time. Like it's just this just proves that they don't trust their main roster. Because if they did, Rollins would be champion still, and they'd be doing Rollins and Wyatt at SummerSlam. But instead, they're giving the belt to Lesnar, and hey, WWE could surprise us. They could get Lesnar. They could get the belt of Lesnar a lot sooner than I expected. It's possible, but I really doubt it. They're gonna have him hold it at least a year, if not longer. Just that's how WWE is. They don't trust their time. They're full time talent. They rather have their part timers come in, hold the championships, and not show up on Raw. Never wrestle on SmackDown, and they only show up like once every like 3 months, and then that's it, and get their paycheck. Just saying. At this point, it's laughable. I can't even get mad. Let's see. Flat Screen Gamer, good show, bad ending. I agree. Like Money in the Bank. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. Rick Roma, that's Fafa Flu, I think. Paul is saving this guy. Vince's ego is hurting. I agree. Seth Rollins is a great wrestler, but not a great champion. He doesn't have the it factor. Rollins has the it factor if you give him the time, but this whole forced chemistry with Becky Lynch was not helping. Let's be honest. The forced chemistry with him and Becky was not working. Rollins, there was a time Rollins had the it factor. Like last year when he was in that gauntlet match. At that time, he was the man. He was on fire. He was the guy that carried the company. But now he kind of died down. And ever since pairing up with Becky Lynch, he's kind of died down a bit. And play didn't help that the comments he left on Twitter didn't help either. Jim Cornette says AEW can't succeed and consistently bash their pay-per-views. Jim Cornette's a shitbag. He's an old man. He doesn't know what good wrestling is anymore. He's not. He's like Vince. In fact, I don't even like Jim Cornette. I always thought he was kind of a prick. He hated Kevin Owens. He hates the Young Bucks. He hates Omega. He thinks Taste Wrestling's a joke. I don't even watch his product because I know he's going to say, this is the same guy that said Lucha Underground was garbage. He doesn't like Lucha Underground. It's a joke. I don't pay attention to Jim Cornette. If Jim Cornette came up to me, it's like, hey, nice to meet you. I want to shake his hand. And I say, okay, nice to meet you. I'd rather talk to someone that actually knows what he's doing. I don't like Jim Cornette. I just don't. Why waste my time with a guy who's just always negative, shitting on stuff that he just shouldn't? He's an old man. He doesn't know what's good prime. He's like Vince Russo. He doesn't know what good wrestling is anymore. People like Jim Cornette. That's fine. I don't. You're never going to convince me the guy is a good guy. The guy's an old bastard, and the guy's just a cranky old guy. He's the guy that when you go on his lawn, he's the guy that goes, "Get off my lawn, you crazy kids." He's that guy. I don't watch his reviews on AEW because I know exactly what he's going to say. He's going to say AEW is shit. It's garbage. It's the worst wrestling company in the world. That's what he says. I'm willing to bet $1,000,000. That's what he says. I'm not going to spend too much time with Jim Cornette. The guy's an old bastard. He doesn't deserve my time. And again, I don't care if Jim Cornette's popular podcast. People listen to it. That's fine. I just don't like Jim Cornette. He's a piece of shit. I'm not dealing with him. I'd rather watch guys like Soul Monster. I'd rather watch guys like Deluxe Men. I'd rather listen to guys like Talk is Jericho. I'd rather listen to Stone Cold podcast. I'd rather listen to the Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez and Dave Metzler. I'd rather watch OK Fabe. There's other wrestling sites and wrestling reviewers I can watch reviewers, and they're more open-minded things. Jim Cornette's just not open-minded. He's stuck in the past, just like Vince McMahon. He's not worth my time. Look, he can have his opinion. If he doesn't like AEW, that's fine. That's his loss. We know what's good wrestling. Jim Cornette's just stuck in the past, plain simple. He's like Vince or Vince Russo. Stuck in the past. But I think that's going to end it here. I got to go to bed soon. I got work this week. But go ahead, comment down below, guys, what you guys think about this pay-per-view. I know, actually, I need to rate the show. From everything I saw, and I also include the Owen Ziggler match and the result of Lesnar winning, I give this show an 8 out of 10. I will say that. I would say an 8 out of 10. I would say AEW's Fight for the Fallen was definitely a better wrestling show, but Extreme Rules was actually a really good strong show. I will give WWE credit. Besides a few things, I thought Extreme Rules was a surprisingly really good show, and I was impressed by them tonight. They just need to keep going this path. If they can keep going like this pathway, WWE will be back on track. So good start for WWE. I don't know who booked this show, but good job. A good start to a new fresh start for WWE with Heyman and Bischoff. So I can't wait for Raw and SmackDown. We finally get Heyman and Bischoff as head creative team for respective brands. Hopefully we get the brand split back. I hope we get new stages. I hope we get new rosters. I hope we say fuck off to that stupid wild card rule bullshit. Screw that. I hope we get rid of these stupid gimmick pay-per-views. We get some new pay-per-views in. I hope we get a fresh, clean cut, and we finally get a good fucking product every week, because that's all we want. I'll tell you right now, if Heyman and Bischoff, if this thing doesn't work, they'll be screwed up. This is like their last chance to actually being the top dog again. So, other than that, though, 8 out of 10 show. I thought this was very good. Comment down below. Tell me, what were you guys' thoughts? What did you think match of the night was? What are your positive negatives on this show? Other than that, I'm Preston, and God's Hub. Take care, all my peeps. See you guys next time. WWE, don't drop the ball. You're on a good roll right now with the show. Don't drop the ball. Please.